Woo! Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm your football pontificator, Brandon Perna. And I'm not going to lie, I don't even know what the word pontificate means. But so much has happened across the NFL, so many important things, I figured I should use that word. In the last 24 hours, shit's gotten crazy. So I'm going to do my best to break it all down. Aaron Rodgers could be dropping the wheels and landing in New York with the Jets. Woody Johnson is flying to meet with Aaron Rodgers today. And yes, all I can think about is a man named Woody Johnson only flies in a jet that looks like this. Also in New York, Daniel Jones and the Giants reached a deal at the buzzer. Lamar Jackson has been tagged by the Ravens. What does that mean and how close is he to getting traded to the Falcons? We'll dive into all of that today on That's Good Sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like NFL news updates in a timely manner. Manscaped.com/goodsports is sponsoring today's episode. Manscaped just dropped their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer. And you're getting a sneak peek of the product right here on That's Good Sports. Now, the timing of this is rather hilarious because about a week ago, I realized I'm now growing ear hair. Ear hair! Which my stock photo wife really loved helping me trim. Luckily, I just got the new and revamped Weed Whacker 2.0. It has a 7,000 RPM motor, improved steel blade system, and an upgraded cutting performance. It's cordless, and the battery will last up to 45 minutes. If it takes you longer than 45 minutes to trim your nose and ear hair, you may have a serious medical condition. Seek help immediately. The Weed Whacker 2.0 comes in Manscaped's tool sets, the Platinum and Performance packages. Use my link below or go to manscaped.com/goodsports to get 20% off and free international shipping and join the 8 million dudes already using Manscaped. I have to believe half of them coming from this show. Okay, the whirlwind of quarterback signings. Yesterday, the Seattle Seahawks gave Geno Smith a 3-year, $105 million DNA-changing deal. Now, Geno Smith will earn about $35 million per year over the next 3 years. Derek Carr's getting $37.5 million per year, and both QBs have combined for 1 playoff appearance. 0 playoff wins. That said, this is just the QB market right now. And I think they both deserve those paydays. What this does is show that Daniel Jones, with 1 playoff win, is worth at least $3 to $5 million more per year than those two assholes. Again, I'm all about players getting paid. We know how ruthless the NFL is for most guys financially, and the dudes who get a second contract are the exception. What annoys me, though, is when a player like Daniel Jones, who has done very little in terms of production, tries to handcuff his team and get paid way more than he's produced simply because he plays the QB position. You can still make a lot of money, but give your team far more wiggle room to bring in elite talent to help you succeed, which I think Daniel Jones really needs. Anyways, Jones signing also means the Giants used the franchise tag on running back Saquon Barkley, so he'll be back no matter what in 2023, but the goal is to get a long-term deal worked out with him as well. More than anything, I think this does show that Brian Daboll believes he can get more out of Daniel Jones in year 2 together, and if he doesn't, he will look stupid. Now, Daniel Jones may have received more money than Geno Smith and Derek Carr, and he's also never played as well as either of those two QBs. I'm not trying to just knock on Dan Jones. I like him, I really do, but Geno Smith threw for 1,000 more yards and 15 more passing touchdowns than Dan Jones last year. The obvious difference in production, though, is the 708 rushing yards Daniel Jones posted with those beautiful legs to go along with 7 rushing TDs. It's why he's called Vanilla Vic. The reason this deal came down to the wire, though, is Danny Dimes insisted that every single paycheck he receives have exactly 10 cents in the cents column to match his nickname. The Giants had to bring in a mathematician to make those fucking numbers work. Back to Geno, though, for a sec. His fully guaranteed money is $40 million, with a base of $25 million per season. So this actually does not take Seattle out of the quarterback market in the draft. And according to the people breaking down Geno's contract, he's expendable after one season, as $30 million of his money is incentive-based, which means he has to play to hit those incentives. Even if you keep Geno and then switch to a young QB you draft, say in 2024, Geno will probably be very affordable at that point. He won't hit his incentives, so he will be a $25 million per year player, and even if he's a backup to a rookie QB drafted at 5, that rookie would only account for $5 to $10 million in cap space per year in his first 4 seasons. So call that top end $35 million per year for 2 quarterbacks, a proven starter, and maybe your future franchise QB. You get Geno and a rookie for the same price as Derek Carr and less than the money you'd spend on Daniel Jones. If the Seahawks draft a QB at 5, I think they're playing freaking chess, guys. I really think so. And it pains me to say that. Now, Jaguars receiver Calvin Ridley. Yeah, remember he was traded while he was suspended from the Falcons to the Jaguars. He's been reinstated from his indefinite suspension by the NFL after he was caught placing a bet on his own team in a game in which he was not playing. After the news broke, Ridley said, "Shit, I bet a fortune on the NFL reinstating me in 2024, not 2023. The Jags also franchise tagged tight end Evan Ingram. So with Ridley, Ingram, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk.
To make Jesus my master.
No, not that Kirk, who is very Christian. That's an incredible group of ball catchers for Trevor Lawrence to work with this upcoming season. It's official. The Ravens can't get shit done with Lamar Jackson. That's my update. They used the franchise tag on him. They opted for the non-exclusive tag with Lamar, which means they are certainly willing to entertain trade offers, as any team can match their offer and sign Lamar Jackson away with compensation and draft picks, 2 first-rounders. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons seem like the team with the strongest interest in Lamar Jackson, and you almost never see this scenario where a team uses the non-exclusive tag on a quarterback and allows them to test the market that way. Now, Matt Lombardo reported that the Falcons and the Ravens trade talks heated up, progressed tremendously during the NFL Combine. Upon hearing that the Falcons may trade for Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr prayed. He prayed and said, "Please, God, allow me to be the best quarterback in a division for longer than one day. Please, God, what are you doing? How are you testing me now, God?" Then he went on to do 9 Hail Marys to repent for his sins. Lamar Jackson will make $32.41 million if he does, however unlikely it is, play on the franchise tag for the Ravens. I hope one day someone who doesn't really know if they want me reluctantly pays me $32 million. Now, that said, the Ravens, I think, are essentially betting on the fact that whoever is interested in Lamar Jackson is not willing to give him the money he is asking the Ravens to pay him. I think their thought is, if the Falcons come in and say, "Hey, Lamar, we want you, but we're not going to pay you $230 million fully guaranteed either," that Lamar will see what the market is dictating his value to be and likely make him more willing to work out a deal with the Ravens. And now, Diana Rossini and Peter Schrager both tweeted that the Falcons are not interested in pursuing Lamar Jackson. So we got conflicting reports. To which I say, if the Falcons were willing to go all in for that scumbag DeSean Watson 1 year ago, quote, give him the keys to the city, why would they not be as interested in Lamar Jackson, who I think is better than DeSean Watson without any of the problems? So I think Atlanta is still interested, but maybe another team is already emerging with better comp than the Falcons can offer, and they're trying to get ahead of losing out on Lamar Jackson. DeSean Watson, according to Mary Kay Cabot of the Cleveland Plain Dealer, DeSean Watson is willing to actually restructure his contract. According to a league source, Watson is willing to spread out a cap charge that would come out to $54.9 million in 2023. Another word for this is buyer's remorse. Free agent to be safety Jesse Bates mentioned that he would like to play with Watson in Cleveland. Now this pairing would be interesting because as a safety Jesse Bates quarterbacks, and well, DeSean Watson, he just baits wherever he wants. Give me my fucking Emmy now. Give me my Emmy! Maybe Jesse was too busy baiting to realize Watson played like crap last year. Now, the big story, Aaron Rodgers spoke with the Jets on Monday, and now the Jets are flying to meet with Aaron Rodgers today. That's happening right freaking now. Why is that significant? Well, because the Packers allowing this meeting to happen means they are all in on moving away from Rodgers by giving the Jets not just permission to speak, but to meet with Rodgers. At this point, it's up to the Jets to sell Rodgers on their team and what they can do for him. If the Packers wanted to force him back to Green Bay, they could have done so. They could have made his only out retirement. I thought the Jets were the best option for Derek Carr, but I'm not sure if they are for A-God. Yes, their defense is elite. It's better than the one in Green Bay currently, but is that the most important thing to Rodgers? I think this sell might be a bit tougher than we really believe. I'm not sure why Rodgers would pick the Jets over just finishing his career in Green Bay, especially if what he really wants is a proven veteran receiver to work with, something he's supposedly talked to the Packers about. The Jets and Packers both have young, talented wideouts. In terms of talent, I think it's close, but I think there's more upside in Green Bay with Dobbs and Watson if they can stay healthy. Rodgers has 1 year of work in with those two receivers as well. He's got to start from scratch in New York, and if he picks New York, he's got to be thinking about playing for 2 more years, in my opinion, as I think he may have the same struggle this year as we saw last season in Green Bay as he developed chemistry with his young receivers. Plus, until running back Breece Hall is healthy, I like the Packers' backfield much more with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. What would be fun to see is how competitive the AFC East would be with Rodgers joining the Jets. And the other knock on the Jets is the Packers are currently in a much better cap situation for this upcoming season than the Jets. And they don't have Aaron Rodgers on the books right now. The Jets. Green Bay has the 12th most space, the Jets have the 20th. So it might be a little more difficult for them to bring in somebody on offense that is enticing for Rodgers. Now there was an Athletic article posted last night or early this morning talking about Rodgers and the Jets, and they painted a picture of the Jets losing out on Derek Carr because they were waiting for Rodgers to make a decision. And if Rodgers doesn't pick the Jets, then they will have taken a giant swing and missed. To that I say, they still got Jimmy G as an option, or the forgotten Hall of Famer Mike White, or hell, they could make a play for Lamar Jackson. Derek Carr didn't want to wait on the Jets, which is why he pulled the trigger on the Saints. Wait, that makes it sound like he killed a Saint, which I think sends you directly to hell. He was the Saints' #1 choice, and it's always nice to feel wanted. Derek Carr is a simple fellow, and we know Aaron Rodgers, well, he's a complicated fellow for sure. The Jets told Carr they'd make him a Hall of Famer. What can they offer a guy who's already destined for the Hall of Fame? A spot in heaven? No, it's simpler than that. After Rodgers learned on his darkness retreat that he only needed 2 wipes every time he shit, he's requested that the Jets provide him with the elusive 3-ply toilet paper and meals that will ensure he averages just 1 wipe per attempt. If they deliver there, he promises his 3rd MVP season in 4 years. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports Quarterback News Shakedown. Please come back tomorrow when I'm sure I'll have another stupid video up on this stupid YouTube channel for your dumbass brain to consume.